Good morning, students. Let's begin our social science class. Today we will start with our new chapter from the unit Geography. Chapter number 2 and chapter 3 are deleted from your CBSE portion. If any new curriculum comes, then we will be doing those two chapters also. So we are having in our curriculum chapter number 4, Agriculture. So we are going to discuss over here the various types of crops, the cropping patterns, and what do we mean by zooming, what do we mean by gramdan, bhudan, and many more things. And we will also discuss a brief account on each and every crop, like which type of weather conditions it required to grow. So let's start with this chapter. India is an agriculturally important country. Two-thirds of its population is engaged in agricultural activities. Agriculture is a primary activity which produces most of the food that we consume. Besides food grains, it also produces raw materials for various industries. So first thing is that why do we need to practice agriculture? So that to fulfill the stomach of the growing population. And afterwards also to provide the raw materials for the industrial purposes. Can you name some of the industries based on agricultural raw material? Yes, jute industry, textile industry, rubber industry, and many more. Moreover, some agricultural products like tea, coffee, spices are exported also. Now we will discuss types of farming. Agriculture is an age-old economic activity in our country. Over these years, cultivation methods have changed significantly depending upon the characteristics of physical environment, technological know-how, and socio-economic or socio-cultural processes. These three things we have discussed in chapter number 1 also, and here also these three fundamentals come over here which are affecting agriculture in the world. Farming varies from subsistence to commercial type. Subsistence is the primitive type of farming where the farmers grow for themselves. The crops which are grown they consume themselves, and commercial type is where the crops are grown on large amount and are sold in the market. At present, in different parts of India, the following farming systems are practiced. Now we are going to discuss each of the farming systems. First is the primitive subsistence farming. This type of farming is still practiced in a few pockets of India. Primitive subsistence agriculture is practiced on small patches of land with the help of primitive tools like hoe, dhow, digging sticks, family community labor. So, primitive subsistence farming is done by the olden tools. No modern technology is involved. This type of farming depends upon monsoon, natural fertility of soil, and suitability of other environmental conditions to the crops grown. So here, as we are not involving any of the modern type of irrigation facility or cultivating facility, so everything is primitive. It is a slash and burn agriculture. Now what do we mean by this term? So farmers clear a patch of land and produce cereals and other food crops to sustain their family, and when the soil fertility decreases, farmers shift and clear a fresh patch of land for the cultivation. So it is a procedure in which farmers go and burn up any particular patch on the forest and then grow over there for 2 to 3 years, and afterwards when the soil becomes unfertile they clear up a new patch. Similar process is followed for 2 to 3 years, and till those 2 to 3 years time the older patch of land again gains its fertility, the soil again gains its fertility, and farmers grow over there. So it is a type of subsistence farming where from one to another land and from another again to first land the farmers do the farming. When the soil fertility decreases, farmers shift and clear a fresh patch of land for cultivation, and this type of shifting allows nature to replenish the fertility of soil through natural processes. Land productivity in this type of agriculture is low as the farmers does not use fertilizers or other modern inputs. It is known by different names in different parts of country. Can you name such types of farmings? So it is zooming in northeastern states like Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Pamlu in Manipur, Deepa in Bastar district of Chhattisgarh, and in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. What is zooming? The slash and burn agriculture is known as milpa in Mexico, Central America, and Conuca in Venezuela, Roca in Brazil, Masol in Central Africa, Ladang in Indonesia, Ray in Vietnam. In India, this primitive form of cultivation is called Bewar or Daiya in Madhya Pradesh, Podu or Penda in Andhra Pradesh, Pamadabi or Koman or Bringa in Odisha, Komari in Western Ghats, Walre or Voltre in southeastern Rajasthan, Khil in Himalayan belt, Kuruwa in Jharkhand, and zooming in northeastern region. So out of these all the terms we have took the word zooming, and we have just seen that in the various parts of India in what type of terms are used for this primitive subsistence farming or slash and burn agriculture. Rinja lived with her family in a small village at the outskirts of Difu in Assam. She enjoys watching her family members clearing, slashing, and burning a patch of land for cultivation. She often helps them in irrigating the fields with water running through a bamboo canal from the nearby spring. She loves the surroundings and wants to stay as long as she can. But this little girl has no idea about the declining fertility of the soil, and her family search for a fresh patch of land in the next season. So the soil fertility is another important factor that decides whether the agriculture process will take place beneficially or not. Can you name the type of farming in Rinja's family is engaged in? So yes, it is again zooming or slash and burn agriculture. Can you enlist some of the crops which are grown in such farming? So the primitive crops like wheat, rice, and some other are grown like paddy, maize in this slash and burn agriculture. Now intensive subsistence farming is the next topic. This type of farming is practiced in areas of high population pressure on land, means where actually the population is very high. It is a labor intensive farming where high dose of biochemical inputs and irrigation are used for obtaining higher production. Can you name some of the states of India where such farming is practiced? So yes, obviously in northern states or northeastern states where there is a high population in northern plains, such type of farming will only take place. So here the modern fertilizers are put into the soil so that on the same land for a longer time more and more crops can be grown. Through the right of inheritance leading to division of land among successive generations has rendered landholding size uneconomical, farmers continue to take maximum output from the limited land in the absence of the alternative source of livelihood, and hence there is enormous pressure on the agriculture land. And because we are using these all the methods day by day, so the pressure on the land is also increasing because of the farmers fertilizers continuous use. So that's all for today students. Thank you and have a nice day.